For all the latest updates, subscribe to Newsline.
The COVID-19 pandemic continues to wreak havoc across the entire world. Countries like the UK were at the receiving end during the initial days of the outbreak. Many schools have been shut and students have taken to online classes amid the pandemic. However, in the latest, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has reiterated that it is vitally important for children to go back to school with the life chances of an entire generation at stake. As schools in England, Wales and Northern Ireland prepare to reopen, Boris Johnson said the risk of contracting COVID-19 was very small. Boris Johnson said that it is damaging for a child to be away from school any longer. It is far more damaging for a child's development and their health to be away from school any longer. This is why it's vitally important that we get our children back into the classroom to learn and to be with their friends. Nothing will have a greater effect on the life chances of our children than returning to school. Johnson's words echoed those of UK's 4 chief medical officers. They have all signed a joint statement alongside Deputy Chief Medical Officers to reassure parents that schools could mitigate risks during the pandemic. Pupils in England, Wales and Northern Ireland are due to return to school in the coming weeks. Schools have already reopened in most parts of Scotland. Johnson said in a statement that he thanked school staff for spending summer making classrooms COVID secure. I have previously spoken about the moral duty to reopen schools to all pupils safely. We have always been guided by our scientific and medical experts, and we now know far more about coronavirus than we did earlier this year. Citing comments from England's Chief Medical Officer Professor Chris Whitty during the weekend, Johnson said that the risk of contracting COVID-19 in schools is very minimal. Professor Whitty said that children were more likely to be harmed by not returning to school next month than if they caught COVID-19. There's also very clear evidence from the UK and around the world that children much less commonly get a severe illness and end up having to be hospitalized if they get symptomatic COVID. Of the more than 1 million children who attended preschool and primary schools in England in June, 70 children and 128 staff were infected in outbreaks of the virus. In England and Wales, pupils will return to school from September 1st. Everyone is hoping that the reopening of schools doesn't see a surge in the number of COVID-19 cases in the UK.